this video, I'll describe how I do my style of self-portrait panorama with the Explorer holding a light. Okay, just a quick thing about the basics. A panorama image is made up of a series of images that form a larger image. Now, for the sake of simplicity, this grid represents images in a panorama. Now, of course, it doesn't include any form of overlay. And generally I use a large amount of overlay in my panoramas. Now, being a series of images, each of the frames has information that can be included in the final panorama. So in this instance, I only need to be in one image in the panorama. Now, the challenge is to have the lighting consistent with all the other frames in the panorama. You can actually see there's lighting over here, over the edges. For this, my initial frame with my self-portrait is holding a flash with a Gary Fong light sphere. The reason why I'm using a Gary Fong light sphere is that it spreads the light evenly around me. You can actually see that the light spreads across the whole scene. After the first shot, I replace myself with a tripod in the same location. I put the flash on top of a tripod and take the rest of the frames of the panorama. This means that the lighting applied to the rest of the landscape is consistent. Okay, putting this into practice, I've got a speed light with a Gary Fong light sphere and a wireless remote that's attached to the camera. Just running a quick test. What I do is I take the first keyframe, striking a pose, and then replacing myself with a tripod in the same location. And then what I'll do is I'll take the rest of the frames of the panorama. Each time the flash will fire, illuminating the foreground. You see in this image here, this is actually shows where I am, and you can see without me masking myself in properly, it's captured a part of me there. And due to the way that the software is stitched it together, it hasn't wholly stitched me into the image properly. And that's where masking helps. So if you actually look in the images, you can actually see how the panorama's gone. You can actually see that there is actually a tripod which I've placed to make sure that the light remains the same across all the images. If I actually were to say use the masking in PGGUI Pro and actually remove myself, say I want to exclude that, you can see it's actually a tripod. And that keeps the light the same all across the scene. Of course, I want to make sure that all of me is included in the scene, and I'll actually draw that out a little bit as well to keep the shadow in. Well, I hope that answers some questions, and thanks for watching.